Ekrem Konur has confirmed and told the world that Arsenal are still in negotiations to sign Alexander Isak in the January transfer window. There's a large buyout clause rumored to be around 90 million euros, which David Ornstein just a few days ago confirmed Arsenal would be working on to negotiate to lower if they were to make a move for the very exciting young forward. Of course, we have all seen the pictures that have emerged. Isak is along with his teammate, ex-Manchester United player Adnan Januzaj, currently in London enjoying his winter break. Are people putting two and two together and getting four? Could Arsenal be about to pounce? Or will it be disappointment again for the Gooners? We want to get your take, your views, your opinions on another afternoon edition of the Done Deal Show. Smash the like button, follow, subscribe. Make sure you're retweeting if you're watching on Twitter. Let's do this. Ekrem Konur this afternoon has tweeted and he has informed everybody that Arsenal are continuing negotiations with Real Sociedad to finalise the transfer of Alexander Isak. As we know, the young man has been seen in London over the course of the past few hours, last 24 hours or so. There's images, as you can see here, we're going to put up on the screen, of him in Selfridges, somebody like literally walking around tracking a man while he's out shopping here, as you can see. But he is there. He is in London as it stands. I also believe he was at a nightclub last night as well. A lot of people said it was a nightclub as well. These are the images from that, as you can see. Again, people checking out what he's up to. You can see him there with Adnan Januzaj, having a good time out in Soho, London. So he is certainly here. He is certainly looking like he could be like he's in London. We know that. He could be on his way. This could be getting done. I don't necessarily know if him being in London is 100% a guarantee that Arsenal get him. I think what's interesting is that Arsenal have been looking at a player, and something that one of the Arsenal fans who phoned into the show earlier on today said that really resonated with me. You've got the image of Edu kind of sitting down and relaxing, having a glass of wine. Would that be going on if something wasn't in the offering? A lot of players have been leaving Arsenal. No new players so far have come in this window. Could this be the player to do it? Could this be the individual to kind of break the January duct, to give Arsenal some new attacking impetus up front, with Eddie Nketiah looking like he's also going to be leaving in the coming days towards the end of this transfer window? I don't know. Is the answer. I don't have the answers to it. What we do know is what we've said. One of the leading transfer sort of journalists across social media, Ekrem Konur, verified journalist in that himself, has confirmed that the negotiations are still going on. Ornstein just the other day, and I'm going to quote Ornstein here, with pinned his comment to the live comments section, said he has a release clause reportedly, but people I speak to he says here, but from the people I speak to, it seems Arsenal would attempt to negotiate the fee to be lower. So maybe that's why there's a slight delay here. Arsenal trying to get the release clause down, or get a fee agreed that's lower than the release clause as we go into the last 3 or 4 days of this transfer window. But I want to gauge your view. I want to gauge your opinion. I want to know what you think and feel in relation to this. And Ben here says here that Isak is a baller. Well, we know the Football Terrace's very own eye test, a man like Ali Usman has been a fan of him for a long, long time. Hope you're, this is, hello Wilson, hope you're well, my friend. I am good. Football Matters FC, thank you. I appreciate the big up, and I hope you're well as, I hope you are well as well, my friend. I really do. Arsenal fans will be let down again, Terry. Do you guys think they will be? Does anybody here feel like Arsenal are going to be deflated? Quite a few Gooners I speak to are seem to be buzzing. They seem to be in a really good space. They seem to be in a really good space. Um, what's this here about his car? His car is where they've been tracking his car. This is amazing. You can see here that they're saying this is his car. They're saying this is his car? He's driving around in London today, registered and taxed in January. You don't buy a Rolls Royce in a random country if you're on holiday for a few days. Could that mean something? That's an interesting one. I mean, it is interesting, but you're talking about. Look, I'm gonna play this down. Yes, if you are normal like me and you, when you're a millionaire, maybe you do. Maybe you do. Like I know a few fighters who are doing quite well at the moment in MMA, and I was chatting to one of them a little while ago, and he was saying like he wants to, he's trying to earn as much money as he can through all different areas at the minute, because where he's jealous of some of his stable mates is that they're so wealthy. Like essentially, there's three or four main cities that they fight in with the organization they're with. Some of the wealthier fighters have like properties in all those places, so when they're there fighting, they've got their own place, their own car. It's much more relaxed than being in a hotel or like kind of relying on other people. So rich people may do that. I don't know if that's Alexander Isak, but that's amazing. I didn't realize that today. A car taxed and registered in January 2022. Rolls Royce as well. Man's bowling about in a Rollie, bruv. In a Rollie, you know what I'm saying? That's serious. But in interest, there's another one here. Look, this is where Isak's car was. Look at this. Someone's actually gone down to where the car was parked last night on Queensland Road, and like put a map out and everything right by the Arsenal hub. So that's where, he was by the Emirates Stadium. They're saying he was by the Emirates Stadium. That is huge. That is huge. That is huge news. That is huge news. That's where he was parked. You can see that last night. That actually does mirror the other image we were just looking at a few moments ago. That is where he was parked, just around the corner from the Emirates Stadium. You can see the Thierry Henry statue. This could just be clutching at straws, but I give Arsenal fans so much credit. This is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a hell of a lot of work they've been doing here. But yeah, that's the latest one I've seen. What else? I mean, loads of people posting where his car was. This man's getting stalked, bruv. Stalked. But what I am going to say, I'm going to go back to that picture of his car. Where is is it where it was? It looks like where it was. No, I don't know if it was, I'm now looking. I don't know. Nah, that's not where his car was. That isn't where his car was. That isn't where his car was. If you look at the houses across the street, right? That's not a good enough image. Just scroll up here, right? Let's go to one of the bigger versions. Look at those houses there. Look at them houses, right? Look at the sort of the masonry work and the brickwork. Just look at them for a minute. So even I was getting fooled there. And then let's go back to this one. That's not the same front of the houses. Look at I know it's hard for you guys to see, but they're all different. No, that weren't where he was parked. That's cap. There we go. 5 minutes of investigative work and it's done. But yeah, that definitely isn't it, as far as I can see anyway. I mean, people might view it a little differently or whatever else, but there we go. This is a new low even for Arsenal fans. Well, look, let people do their thing, man. People get excited all the time. He certainly is in. Some people are saying it was photoshopped. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing trending on socials. I didn't even know about this until someone super chatted in. Someone says I'm trolling. I ain't trolling. I'm just this is on Tinternet. This ain't me. I didn't make this stuff up. This is crazy. This is crazy out here. How you doing, Sarim? I'm just, I'm doing my detective work on this, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know here if what everyone wants and what everyone feels. But definitely in London. Come on, Terry. It's a slow news day. Are you? I'm not trolling. I didn't make this up. This is real. This is out there. This is trending, boys and girls. Do you think I made this up? Do you think I made all these accounts do you think I went to London today and took those pictures? Not at all. Look, we're going to share the link for you to come on in a few moments to have your say. Please make sure that like button's being hit. Make sure you're retweeting this stream wherever you are watching around the world. That would be absolutely amazing if you could do us that brilliant honor. It really, really would. Apparently, AFC fans are all good enough. Oh, stop! I can't believe I read that. Thank you very much for calling me a legend. I don't feel like one personally, but that's a very, very kind thing for you to say, my friend. Thank you. Did Isak? Hang on a second here. Oh, I know why it's not working. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. There we go. Right. Isak got a rental. That also could be it, you know. He could have rented a car that's just been taxed. Yeah. I didn't even think about that logic. Yeah. There we go. But I mean, it's in the Football Terrace group chat as well, actually. That's mad. That's literally legitimately mad. I that's a great point there, sir. That you could have just rented a car from a company that's just that's just taxed their car. This is true. It's so funny. Oh, can you imagine if Isak was actually going to Tottenham? That would be funny. I know it wouldn't be funny for Gooners, but it would be funny from a banter point of view. We can't get away from that. We can't get away from it. But that's why I like sharing stuff online, because people think about things very differently. And that's the way you guys are talking about that. I was like, yeah, I didn't even think of it from that point of view. There we go. Oh, is that the number plate? See, again, I didn't. Is that what the number plate says? So is the number plate Isak's name? See, I'm not even deep in it so much to look for these things. Are you telling me is that the number plate? Oh, the number plate says Isak. You're right. Okay. Oh, I don't know, you know. I don't know. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, no rental company is going to do that. No rental company is going to personalize the number plate for him. So you've got a point there. You've got a point. Isak's bought a car in North London. Are we going to confirm that? Are we going to say on the terrace that we think it's his car? I think we should. My focus has gone all out now. My focus has gone all out. There we go. We're back. We're back. They actually listen. I didn't even deep it. I didn't even bother read the number plate. But there we go. Terry, look at the link. What link? I don't know what that means, my G. What link? I don't know what you mean when you say that link. Help me. That doesn't make too much sense to me, but there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Let's get this stream past 500 likes while we're live, please, my people. Let's get that done now. Terry, search Queensland Road. I've done it. I've already seen where it is. It's literally by the Emirates Stadium, but that road don't look the same to me. Should we hang on? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go. Let's do it. Let's do it on the air. Queensland Road. Let's do this properly, right? I assume that's N7, right? Yeah, right. So let's do this. I'm gonna get it up on the screen. I'm gonna go full map view. Like we're doing this ourselves, right? That's the one we want. No, I want it big. Like that, right? So this is the map, okay? So this is the where we at. Here's the road, okay, by the Emirates. Let's keep zooming in, and I need to get like street. I need to get like, how do you get street view up? Where's street view? There it is, right? Click on this. So this is where they were saying he was parked. Well, where's the houses he was? Oh, see, I was seeing those houses, those ones. Oh. That does look, that is the house. That's the with the little palm tree there. You see it? That one. I'm staring at people's houses here. I feel weird, but he was there. Oh, see the angle I saw. That person took a picture of like the angle across, and we were seeing these houses, so they were all different. Oh, it's them three. I mean, the Emirates is there. I remember this little bit during the protests. Oh, look. There it is. That is where the car was. Legit. That's where the car was. Look at me. I'm getting excited. I'm not even a gooner. Interesting, Smithers. Interesting. What is that horrible looking building all about? What is that? Why would you use that wood like that? Honestly. Oh, there we go. That's where he was parked last night. By the Emirates, as you can see. There it is. The Emirates Stadium. Wow. Well, that is... it has changed my mind a little bit. I was thinking, no, that wasn't even the same. That is the street. That be the street, right? And I want to go back for a second. I'm going to go back and keep going back here. I've got to keep going back for a second. Let's go back. I want to go back to that original picture. I'm doing the investigative work because it's a lot easier, right? Just to sit here and do it all while we're live. Might as well do it while we're live on the air, doing nothing else. Saturday, no football, no proper football anyway. Look. The palm tree. That is the one. And look, you can see that. Wow. Could it be true? And you know the point I was making earlier where I said that guy's picture didn't make sense. See, if I'm doing it, this guy's an idiot, right? This guy that took this picture is an idiot because that's not the right angle. The house he was parked in front of was like to the right of that picture, if that makes sense. It was to the right of that picture. Why didn't he take a better picture? If you imagine going all the way down there. No, he didn't go all the way down there. He's just taking a Google Maps thing. Why wouldn't he have shown the picture of the same angle the car was seeing? We did it ourselves, though. Thanks, people. There we go. My word. Right, we're going to go to some calls now because I'm very intrigued by this. Can you see Isak coming? So let's get the facts back out there again. The facts. He is in London. Cast iron, the truth. We've seen him at a nightclub in Soho. We've seen him at Selfridges. We've seen a car with the number plate Isak that was bought and MOT'd and taxed this month with the name Isak, basically parked outside the Emirates Stadium last night. These are the facts. Whether that car belongs to Alexander Isak or not, yet remains to be seen. I'm sure there are a few people with the name Isak as first names and surnames that live in England. Maybe somebody's trolling. They just made a fake number plate and stuck it on a rollie and drove it down there last night. Like, all these things are possibilities. Look at me. I'm salivating. I'm so excited here. But could this be happening? What we also know is that Ekrem Konur has said that conversations are still ongoing between the two. We're going to be getting Corey. We're going to be getting Mo. We're going to be getting Gunner Express on the show momentarily. But do me a big job. I'm talking all this, right? Someone just said, check Fabrizio's Twitter. What's the bet? Fabrizio's tweeted saying he's not going Arsenal. And all of this is for nothing. What's he saying? What's he tweeted? Nothing. Again, we knew about the Newcastle deal, getting Bruno Guimaraes. Congratulations to them. But let's get the callers on for this news now. Let's make sure like buttons are being smashed. People are telling me that I'm like mocking this. I am mocking this. I'm being serious. Listen, we're fans. This is the stuff we should be looking at. No disrespect. I love a bit of Ornstein. I don't want to hear something that's going to depress me today. This is some fun. What we should really all do is go meet up in London now and see if we can hunt down this car. You know when you had grown-ass adults walking around the street trying to find Pokemon? This is what we should do. Like, can we find Isak? Do you know what I'm saying, bruv? Do you remember grown-ass men playing Pokemon on the streets? I was at a barbecue one time. We ran out of drink. So we'll go to the shop and get some drink. About 6 at night. Fully grown men, women, no kids, walking around with their phones, doing what they're doing. And I knew what they were doing, but I thought I'd plan it. Like, yo, bro, what are you doing, man? I'm hunting Pokemon. I'm done. I was finished. I was finished. I was hunting Pokemon. Do you know what I mean? 42 years old, no hairline. He was wearing with those men that wear like bootcut jeans with like running trainers as well. Do you know what I'm saying? You know them brothers. You're like, bro, what are you doing? They've got them stonewashed blue jeans, running shoes. Do you know what I mean? The running shoes are all like 120 pounds of a shoe as well. It's like, why are you wearing them with them? Madness. Them, man. Pokemon. If that was you, by the way, I want to just say absolutely sorry to none of you. Grow up. Terry, why do you hate Arsenal? I don't hate Arsenal. I don't like any of my rivals on a footballing basis. I don't hate Arsenal. I'm very nice to Arsenal. Maybe not as nice as you want me to be, but I definitely don't hate Arsenal. Right, let's get our callers on now. We're going to bring Gunner Express and Corey out together. Hit the like and the share button on this Saturday afternoon. I'm about to say rendition. It's not really a song, but episode of the Done Deal Show. Yes, gents, welcome back to the show. Corey, what do you make of all this? What do you make of all this? Man's out here hunting down Isak, cars, tax, following him around Selfridges. What are you saying?
What is the MI6 doing? Hire these people, the Arsenal Reddit and whatnot. where they're finding this information. He's probably landed in what 12 hours, and he's finding all this come up on his phone. They found my address. They found this. They found the hotel that I'm at. They found where I'm eating. I'll be stressed if I was a footballer. Honestly, that is stressful. The one thing I'll say about this is, I'm pessimistic anyway, so this is what Arsenal's done to me, man. The stress of the years, the transfers. This is what it's done to me. But can't someone go on holiday, especially when it's, you know what I mean, during that period where, you know what I mean, the goal fly everywhere, you know what I mean, you got Ivan Tony doing up what madness is in Dubai and
Yeah.
whatnot, you know what I mean? Players go everywhere they want, you know what I mean? And it's, you know what I mean, it's coincidence, yeah, he's parked there, but he's also a fan of Thierry Henry. He could have just gone and looked at the stadium. When you've actually parked in like an underground car park, if he was discussing stuff. You know what I mean? You wouldn't just park out. You're on a random street. You're not, you know what I mean? You're not in the underground car park or whatnot. You know what I mean? If there was discussing actual, you know what I mean? You know, with his agents and whatnot, then I couldn't understand that. But I
Yeah.
think we're reading a bit too much into it, man. You know what I mean? The guy just enjoying himself in London. It's a massive. It's a, you know what I mean? It's a massive capital.
Yeah.
People from all over the world go there. You know what I mean? So
I look at it from the point. I hear you completely, and I get you. Um, I didn't think anything of it. I went live. I didn't look at the car stuff. I went out there. It's only the stuff with the car that's made me very intrigued, if that makes sense. Gunner Express, what you saying, brother?
Yeah, what's good, sorry, man. Look, I'm not going to sit here and get gassed. I know some people will be coming on, and will probably be getting quite excited. I still think I think this can happen, and there's only one reason. It's a buyout clause. Arsenal negotiating. We've been awful this window, but when it comes to Isak, there's no negotiations needed. It's go to La Liga office, pay the money, sort out the contract, and it's done. And we're quite good at sorting out contracts. It's actually negotiating with the clubs and trying to get the fees done. So it's a deal that can happen literally any day. It could happen in the last 10 minutes of the transfer window. So Arsenal know what they're doing. Um, as I said, I think this deal can definitely happen. But I have been told, and I'm not trying to come out as an ITK or anything, but I have been told that he was spotted. The car was spotted coming out of the underground entrance at the Emirates. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I'm not going to claim it is, but I've been told that. So if that is true, then there's no doubt in my mind that he's coming to Arsenal. Why else would he be at the Emirates underground car park at the middle of the night? So I think it's there's too many things that make it seem like he's coming. The fact that he has a car that's newly bought, the fact that it's got his name in the number plate, the fact that he's been in London, he was at Selfridges, and I mean, you know, being at Selfridges is nothing, but Albert Sambi Lokonga was spotted at Selfridges about a day or two before he signed for Arsenal. So it is these little things that we're going to hold on to, and as Corey said, man, there's all the reason to be pessimistic, but also there's all the reason to be excited because we don't get excited a lot, and recently we've been, you know, we've been given the ammunition to get excited. So it's simple as really, if we don't end up signing Isak now and we don't end up getting a good player, the fan base will be more and more and more wound up. So Edu, as I said yesterday when I came on the show, in regards to that picture with you and your wine and cheese, I pray for you and your reputation that you do something big. Because if you don't, that guy will zero respect by any Arsenal fan.
No, mate, I hear you on that, and like you said, I mean, the car thing is. Look, I understand rich people will do things that others don't, and if Isak got a car in London, you know, what I will say is this: like, it might buying a Rolls Royce, the English version, the English, the left, the right hand drive, as in you sit on the right hand side. There could be a prestige thing wherever, you know, he might have it shipped to where he lives. You know, if he doesn't do it, you know, a Rollie, being a right hand drive Rollie is prestigious wherever you go. Like it's better than a left hand side that you'd have elsewhere because it's like authentic to Rolls Royce. And I'm not saying that's like weird. That's not far fetched. But it is weird to buy a brand new Rollie, register it, get a personalized number plate, tax it, and park outside the Emirates Stadium. Like I mean, it could be trolling you lot. That's a lot of money to troll you. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm trying to think of a logical reason why he would do that. And the only thing that would make sense if he isn't trying to stay in England is he's going to ship it back and he wants an authentic British rollie at home to go, look what I've got. But then why are you taxing it here? I don't know. Like, it's weird to me. But again, he could probably pay for the tax because that's what he's got to do to drive it around for the week he's here. Ain't really going to be no skin off a footballer's nose. But yeah, man, it could happen. Young Samuel, what are you saying, bro? What are you saying?
I came on here yesterday and I said the only transfer that I can see us getting done in this limited period is Isak, because it's a very simple deal to get done. You just go to the La Liga headquarters and trigger the release clause. So, listen, if it happens, this is a step in the right direction. We can get a player at the same level as Vlahovic. You know, he is a great player. He has potential. Bro. I've seen him at the Euros against Sweden where he played against Spain. I looked at him closely and he was dominating us throughout that game. As for the picture, I wrote late last night. I saw that picture. I looked at the places. I said that place there, those houses, that looks incredibly familiar. And I thought, there's no way. There is literally no way that his car, literally, of all the places in London, his car is literally right there next to the Emirates Stadium. This can't be no coincidence. Something is going on there, and no one knows. We're making assumptions. You know, oh, maybe he's just enjoying his time in London. Maybe he's just going selfish just to buy himself some new clothes, like Terry mentioned, getting that prestige of the Rolls Royce. But this is quite fishy, bro. This is really, really fishy. I believe there is something planned in there. But the thing is, I'm shocked that it's taking the club, old people, this long to keep this so-called rumor quiet, because we know it's going to be a 90 million euro transfer fee, and I'm surprised they've kept it quiet for this long.
Do you know what's really interesting so far, and this could come out and like burst everybody's bubble in the next 10 minutes when I'm maybe tempting fate here. We saw with Man United this morning reports coming out of Italy and Portugal that they were interested in Arthur Melo, and before we even finished the stream talking about this news, Fabrizio tweeted saying Man United are not interested in Arthur Melo. I have my own theories on that. I don't disbelieve that the publications that put that out got the Diaz news first. They're not uncredible. Or what's the difference when you're not credible? What is it? Is it non-credible?
You're just not reliable.
Unreliable.
Yeah, so they're not. I know, but they're not an unreliable news outlet. I sometimes think in those circumstances, it's the news might be a little old. Maybe Man United inquired a day or two ago, and then you get someone like Fabrizio or contact Man United and say, "Oh, are you looking?" And they go, "No, we're not." Why are they saying no? Probably could have been rejected, to be fair. But there we go. What's interesting so far is that this stuff's been looking at some of these posts. Some of these posts have been out there now for like 4+ hours. Nobody prominent, and I know it's a Saturday, has come out and said this is nonsense. If that makes sense. Like, if you weren't looking at him in any way, shape, or form, I'm pretty sure an Arsenal journalist by now would have come out and said, absolutely no, this isn't on the cards. Whether it be Wheatley, whether it be Ornstein, you guys maybe know what's, you know, that's what I look for. I've gone to their accounts and there's like no talk about it at all. Like, it's like radio silence. They could all be enjoying their Saturdays with their family and not even on social media. But
and
it's just
Terry, the thing as well is I see a lot of people say, why have they not tweeted anything out about it yet? You know, why has a Watts, a Wheatley, and Ornstein not said that, you know, he's in London? There's the high possibility. I mean, first of all, it's a weekend. We know journalists always take the time off in the weekend anyway, which is why it's so surprising that, you know, we're seeing this today. But at the same time, let's be honest, Wheatley, Ornstein, Watts, they have links to the club. I'm not saying they work directly for them, but if the club tells them to keep it silent, they will keep it silent. They're not going to go against the club and anger the club, because then they'll lose opportunities. So there's the high possibilities that the club are doing this on purpose. They're trying to wait to maybe the last day because we see it with Partey. Partey could have been done at any point in the window. They left it to the very end of the window to mask how bad the window was and to get us excited. Arsenal very possibly could be doing this again with Isak, or possibly with some other players. So, you know, just because a journalist hasn't tweeted out saying it's happening doesn't mean it's not happening. But in the same time, there's still the possibilities that this is just, you know, it's just luck in a sense, in terms of it's just a coincidence that he's in London at this time. So I'm not going to get overly excited, but, you know, to rule it out, I think is quite disingenuous, because there's so much there to suggest that it could happen. So it's just it's really on the way you look at it, really.
I hear you. What are you saying, Bran?
Yeah, he's in London with Januzaj, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, so that means we're probably getting Januzaj then. Because that would be the typical Arsenal thing, you know. Everybody gets excited about Isak, and then we end up signing Januzaj. No, I've said it before, Terry. Like, I'm not overly excited about this one. I mean,
Come on.
like I said, I've looked at the guy's record in this season. I'm more bothered about what are Arsenal doing to be proactive to save this season. You know, it looks like they're bringing in this guy because he has potential to be good in the future, which is fine. It's fair enough. You know, we still need to sign young players. We still need to sign players that could progress the club in the future. But I'm all about what are we doing about saving our season this season? Because there is still an opportunity for us to finish in the top 4. And I'm not saying that this kid is not a great striker. And, you know, but I look at it like this. Is he going to come in and hit the ground running? I don't know. You know, it takes players time to settle into the league. It takes players time to adapt. If he can adapt straight away, then he'll be, you know, an excellent signing. But I don't think he will. I think he'll be one that, you know, maybe to watch next season and in a couple of years' time. But it's like, what are you doing to save this season, Arsenal? What are you doing to make sure that we get in the top 4 so that we can continue to attract the caliber of player that we need?
Isn't this deal that, you know, I know he's only got four goals in his league this year, but something, you know, Diogo Jota wasn't prolific at Wolves like he has been at Liverpool. Like, we know that this kid, we saw him at the Euros in the summer, you know, playing. I don't mean it rudely about Sweden, but they don't have the overall quality of the other sides. But he was always a danger. He was predominantly man of the match in the games that he played. Like, he's got this huge buyout clause, so he's you know, he's fancy. He had a very good season last year. Like, I feel like he could be that player for you. Who,
yeah, but there's a difference though, Terry. There's a difference though, Terry. Diogo Jota was already playing in the Premier League. He was already used to playing Premier League football. He was already up to speed with the league. It's going to take this guy a little bit of time to get up to speed with the league. Who knows? You know, he might be a bit like an Aubameyang. Aubameyang came in and hit the ground running straight away, started scoring goals. But then he might not. At the end of the day, he's still a young man, and that's a lot of pressure to put on a young man's shoulders to expect him to come in and pretty much save our asses, you know. And I just look at it and think, well, we also need other positions as well, like midfield. You know, Arsenal fans, if we had to choose between which position was most important, we would, I don't know, would we say midfield or would we say striker? I mean, I would personally say midfield for me. And there's a chance that we could still get a midfielder in alongside Isak as well, but I don't know. It's
Brian, I mean, I have to disagree because I look at the last game, right, against Burnley, where we could have won that game if Lacazette had a wide open goal and he clearly missed the goal. I mean, the past few games, the striker has been a big issue, and we want more productivity from our striker. And I think Isak is the risk worth taking. I'll take this risk on Isak, you know, because I think it will pay off. I 100% believe it will pay off. You know, we need strikers in now because we can't. It looks like we're going to get rid of Aubameyang. We just can't have Nketiah and Lacazette because they're just two useless strikers. So
Samuel, if you look at it as well, one of his, I don't know if it's exactly his best period for goal scoring at Sociedad, but if you speak to La Liga fans and even Sociedad fans, his best football at Sociedad was with Odegaard. And obviously we have Odegaard right now. Odegaard's one of, if not the best performing player at Arsenal at the moment. So, you know, I'm not saying that Isak's going to straight away come in and score 20, 30 goals. I'm not a Chelsea fan. You know, Chelsea fans put that expectation on Werner and Lukaku. So I'm not going to do that to Isak if he does end up joining. But what I'm saying is he has that relationship already with one of our better players. He has that relationship in terms of on the pitch as well with him in terms of the link-up play. So he has some positives that go towards him having a more successful period. Yeah, but I do agree with Brandon. But Brandon, this is where I agree with you. A striker's not enough. We need that midfielder. So this is why I'm slightly upset with this Isak thing, is if they're going to do this where they leave it to the last day and it masks the fact that we didn't get a midfielder, it's still not a good enough window because we need a midfielder, like drastically.
I kind of disagree in a way because you say about Odegaard and Isak having this relationship, and fair enough. But we also saw that with Henrik Mkhitaryan and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And we thought that they was going to flourish with them two playing together because they had the previous relationship in Borussia Dortmund, and that didn't kind of work out. So it's like,
I get it. Do you know what? I get it, and I understand you're all skeptical. And I'm speaking here as a United fan looking at this. when I'm being honest, and I don't know, I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of all up and coming or top strikers across Europe, but I don't know realistically how much better than Isak Arsenal can really do. And any player under the age of 25 who hasn't been winning major titles in Champions Leagues and winning golden boots fits that hasn't already played in the Prem will fit the same, will have the same question marks next to them as Isak. Can he do it in the Prem? When you look in the Premier League, you're not taking any top striker away from any other one of the big sides. So you start to look at it, and it's realistically, who else can you bring in? And Aubameyang's finished. Lacazette isn't good enough.
Terry, I just want to
You
prove
need
the Arsenal party. But
you need. I can't. I look at Isak and I'm like, who else is there other than Isak? What is this, mate?
So there's a post of exact same car. It was posted 21st of March 2018 of his exact same car. That was a Isak, great two-time number plate on his Rolls Royce Ghost, March 2018, and I think Isak was 18 and 19 at that time. So,
sorry. Let's go back because I didn't. Where's that? Who posted that picture?
Well, it's been going over all over Arsenal Twitter right now, but I'm not sure. I need to verify this.
Yeah, so what you need to verify is where that picture was taken, and who's taken it, like, and why. I mean, as I've said, there are probably more than one person with a name Isak. I went to school with a girl. Her name was Amy Isak, so I know Isaks already. Like, so I'm not saying it is him, but listen, don't put it past someone who's got that car to just go park outside the Emirates for a laugh. Like, some people find that sort of thing funny, mate. Like, it might be.
It's verified. Yeah.
Also, Terry.
Sorry. Let me go back. I need to go back to Samuel. When you say it's verified, what's verified?
I mean, not the verified, but it comes from an account. It's gone back 4 years now from 2018. That exact same post.
Who posted it?
It's on Instagram. Some guy who takes pictures of number plates. Like, he's got hundreds of number plates. And literally, like, it's all his pictures on number plates of random cars. And then I scroll down, and then so were we stalking a random guy? This random guy was just driving in.
Imagine some dude walking down the street just taking pictures of the backs of people's cars. That is crazy. We're gonna throw Abdul into the conversation here. What are you saying, Abdul?
Yo, Terry, how you doing, man?
I'm good. What's your take on all of this, brother? This has got Guna's head spinning.
Terry, you know, I'm not a Guna myself, but if these men pay close to 100 million euros for Isak, bro, that would be it would be disgraceful, man. Like, why do you guys know Patrick Schick? This guy has 18 goals in 17 games this season. And he's like, you could get him like for 40, 50 million. Like, why is nobody talking about Patrick Schick?
Because Patrick Schick was a flop at Leipzig and AC Milan. He's been a flop twice in his career, so he's a risk that people don't want to take.
Like, Isak flopped at Dortmund, bro. Like, I don't know why.
Isak was 18 years old at Dortmund. There's different to being a flop. When he was at Leipzig, he was meant to take over from Pulsen. It was meant to be him and Werner. But Patrick Schick could just never light it up. He went to Milan, he flopped. Like, he's flopped at two big clubs at a ripe age, whereas Isak, 18 years old, went to Dortmund. Yes, he didn't do particularly well, but Isak was given the expectations of what Ousmane Dembele had, because at the time Dembele had left and they expected Isak to do the same thing. And Isak then went to Sociedad, and obviously he's done quite. He's done decent at Sociedad. So I rate Schick. Don't get me wrong, but I just think as a 40-50 million pound signing, it's a big risk because, as I said, he's flopped at two other clubs in his career. So
but let me ask you this question: like, would you take Isak for 90 million?
I think it's a lot of money, but it's a release clause at the end of the day, and you know he's only recently signed a new contract. So if you try and negotiate without the release clause, Sociedad will just tell you, "Well, we're not going to sell him." So it's this is why I'm annoyed we didn't get Vlahovic, because Vlahovic is cheaper, younger, and I still think he's slightly better now. But you know, at the end of the day, we didn't get Vlahovic, so you have to move on and get a different player.
You know, I follow La Liga closely, and I was watching a lot of Isak last season because last season was the season where his name was. He had a lot of goals last season, and there was a lot more attention towards him like last season because Sociedad also had a really good season last season. So I was paying a lot more attention to him last season. And one thing I noticed last season is he would never show up in the big games. Like, you look at his stats and they were impressive last season, but like 4 of his goals came in one game against Cadiz. I remember it like clearly, and I remember like there was a game against Real Madrid last season, away from home against a struggling Madrid. Like they were out of form, and he did nothing. He was invisible all game. And for what's it called? Is like I see him as like a Bobby Firmino. He's like he does everything really well,
But I'm
other
not
than
saying-
score.
Well, I don't discredit, but I already see this as a discredit
Guys,
already.
I hear you guys on that. Like, I want to add some more callers into this as well.
Terry.
Now, who's that?
Just quickly.
Yeah, go
I'm
on,
not.
mate.
I'm not sure if you're all aware either, but just before I come on here, there was a report, or Sky Sports had just said that Arsenal turned down another bid from Crystal Palace for Eddie Nketiah. So, say we get this Isak, Aubameyang goes, then ultimately, if he doesn't come in and hit the ground running anyway, we're going to be no better off, are we? Are we?
No, he's better than Nketiah, man. You already discredited him before he kicked the ball for the club.
I
It's
do get your
embarrassing.
point. I do get your point, but you could argue that about any. It's like going right. We're just signing the best midfielder in the world because we need to improve midfield. But if he flops, we're no better off. It's true, but you could say that about any signing. Like any signing flops, and you might as well have kept what you had. You know. We've got someone here who's going to be speaking Isak up here. Ali Usman's in the house. Man like eye test is here. What you saying, brother?
Yes, I'm doing good. I was the first person.
Hello,
Balled it.
Ali. You're on mute. You muted yourself. Ali, are you there, bruv? I was the first person.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah,
As
go
I
on, mate.
said,
Go on.
I was the first person on the football terrace to ever talk about Isaac, and now everyone's copying me. What's going on? The first person ever to mention this guy's name. Nobody knew him before me. But now everyone's talking about him. I think Arsenal have to get him this summer, because if they don't get him this summer, a bigger club's gonna go in for him.
Do you
Because
mean
for
this,
me,
you mean January?
yeah, I mean, yeah, this January. Some Arsenal have to get him this January, because if they don't get him this January, a bigger club's gonna go for him, because for me, he's too good for Arsenal. For me, he's in terms of talent, he's the best young striker in the world. Because for me, Mbappe is a winger. So for me, he's the best young striker. Yeah. And if Arsenal don't get him this summer, I could see Barcelona going in for him.
Hell no.
I could see Real Madrid going in for him. I could see Chelsea going in for him if Lukaku leaves. I could see a lot of bigger clubs going in for him if Arsenal don't get him this summer. So they have to get him this summer, because they ain't gonna be able to compete with the other players, with the other teams. That's what I think.
I mean, Abdul, you sound like you didn't agree.
But you know, like I just said that Dembele would be better than Mo Salah in the Premier League. You know what I mean? So
I hear you on that. Like, I want to
well,
speak to this.
I love you, bro. You know, I love you, bro. But how many times have you actually like watched Isak play, bro?
I was the first person out of every single person watching this video now, and every single person here, I was the first person that knew about him.
In fairness,
I'm the
Ali,
first person that knew about him.
in fairness, Ali, like I told you ages ago how good Isak was. I told you he was world class.
No, you didn't know him. You didn't know him. You didn't know him.
I test. I've got to say this though, yeah. You said Isak's the best young striker in the world. Is Haaland an alien, bro? Like, who's Haaland, bro?
Haaland is pace and power. He's pace and power.
Whoa!
Oh
my god!
No. Turn it off. No, there's no way.
You have to let me explain. Haaland is pace and power. Yeah, and Isak has more technique to him. He could control the ball better. He could dribble better. And Haaland, you have to include Bundesliga attacks, because you know we've seen Jadon Sancho thrive in the Bundesliga. Now look what he's doing in the Premier League.
So why didn't Dortmund keep Isak then?
What about Lewandowski? The Bundesliga attacks for Lewandowski then, I test.
The reason why Lewandowski will never be on the level of a Benzema, of a Luis Suarez, is because he did it the whole time he was at the Bundesliga. If he was in La Liga for Real Madrid or for Barcelona, or in Man United or in Liverpool, he would have been rated higher. But because he spent most of his career in the Bundesliga, he will never be on the level of a Luis Suarez, a Karim Benzema. He will never be on that level because of that reason. Haaland, for me, I need to see him go to another league, and even if he goes to another league, I'm not a big fan of the way he plays. He's just
Eye test.
when I watch him play.
When he was 18, he scored 14 goals in the Champions League. His first ever season in the Champions League at 18 years of age. He scored a brace against PSG. He's done it again and again. Lewandowski has continuously played against English teams and has constantly played superbly against them.
Do you know what's really interesting? Do you know what's really interesting about the Isak thing? And I'm going to wind Ali up here. Think about this, right? Isak's like, you rate Isak as the best young striker in the world, and we all know that Marcus Rashford's had his worst season in years, but Rashford still scored more goals than him this year. I love it. Igal is here with us. What are you saying, Igal? By the way, before we go to Igal, I've got some super chats here. This has just been put out by Dan Watson. He says that Isak number plate has been registered on 3 cars in the past few years in London. It's not Isak's car. It's a doctor. He switched it to his new Rolls Royce. Check the plate spotter. Arsenal mudded. So according to Dan Watson, I haven't verified it myself, but I'm trusting him that isn't Isak's car. It belongs to a doctor. But Igal, what are you saying, bro? What's on your mind?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. I love my fan base. We are private investigators. We do this thing. It's amazing. But on a serious note, Alexander Isak is better stylistically for Arsenal. I think even Dean what's his name? Dean Jones said it the other day on the Football Terrace, where he was talking about traditional strikers. You look at that Arteta would want in his system. It looks like Vlahovic obviously was one of our targets, but when you look at him, he's not stylistically one of those strikers that we would have gone over. And Alexander Isak might suit our system better. He can play deep. He can link up play. Of course, he still has a way to go in his development, but I think he's one of the best strikers right now that we could have gone for. And for the price that we're going to pay for him, I hope he does well, because I know how relentless the Premier League fan bases are, and they're going to come after him. The agendas are going to start the moment he signs. But once we get him over the line, I'm going to be rooting for him, and I'm proud, because this is one of the guys that I wanted. This was my number 1 target. Vlahovic was. I always just tried to get my thoughts across to Vlahovic eventually, but I always wanted Isak.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's talented. 22 years of age. There's a good opportunity for him. Do you know who he reminds me of as well? I'm not into the new books, the new chapters of Power, but the original seasons of Power. The guy that plays the MP, the guy that's running for mayor. He reminds me of him. So anyway, I digress. But he's talented indeed. There's no doubt. There will be pressure on him though, because every rival, especially if you end up paying 90 million, because suddenly he then becomes. I swear, he then becomes one of the most expensive strikers in Premier League history. Only probably Lukaku costed more.
If we buy Isak for 77 million, he's our highest ever transfer record.
Wow, it's massive.
He's £5 million more than Pepe.
You can't pay that much for him. Like he's not. I mean, there is potential, of course, but I feel like anything over 50 is ridiculous. Like
we have no choice at this point. If they tell us pay the release clause and we pay the release clause, we get the player. At this point, we've left it for so late that we need to do whatever we can do.
And are you all convinced that he will join you? That he would say yes to Arsenal?
No. I don't think he would reject us. If we put the money down, he'll come to us.
Cool. We're going to add Mohammed into the comment here. What are you saying, Mohammed?
Hi, Terry. How are you at last?
I'm very well, my friend. Good evening.
Good evening. Well, I was listening to this debate. I'm surprised that we are talking about Isak as if he's coming or Arsenal signing him. I'm an old Arsenal fan and a passionate fan. Besides, I'm a journalist. So this debate don't excite me. This news about car and something like this. We must talk about Arsenal board, Edo, frustrating our club, frustrating the fan, jeopardizing our season, that we are 48 hours before the market closed, that we didn't bring new players. We knew already that we had to We are fighting for the fourth spot. We need a striker. We need a midfielder. This thing. All people knew this thing. We wasted all the time on Vlahovic and Arthur Milo, and in the end, we didn't get anything. This board is not ruthless. It's not quick. Look at other clubs, what they do, what they did. Look at Aston Villa. Look at Newcastle. They're quick, ruthless, clinical in the signing. But unfortunately, Arsenal are not. On the other hand, not only we are not bringing a new faces to help us in this battle, also we are weakening our squad by letting players, good bench players, leaving, such as Chambers, Mari, Maitland-Niles. I understand that Kolasinac go now. I understand that Balogun needs this loan to make him more experience in the championship. Okay, but if you are not signing a new player, don't weaken our squad. Now our squad don't have a depth, don't have a strong bench. For me, Chambers is better than Cedric. And if Tomiyasu is not here, I prefer Chambers to play. He can play various positions. Pablo Mari is a backup for the Gabriel. Niles, with the last few weeks that we are suffering, only have Sampi Lukanga in midfield, could have played. So what's happening now is a mess. Arsenal board, Edo, what they are doing.
So were you against selling Pablo Mari? Is that right?
No, I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about my point, my analysis. If you are not, I'm speaking about the board, able to bring a new faces, don't weaken the squad.
Yeah.
Don't weaken because why?
Yeah.
Why? Because now we are in a COVID world. Now you have 18 players. After 2 hours or tomorrow, you have only 11 or 10 players. So these bench players, you will need them. You have many injuries. You have many COVID. I'm not speaking about that Pablo Mari has a future of Arsenal. No, I'm speaking from now until the end of the season. Only this period we are fighting. We need a good squad. Not only 11 in the pitch, but only a good depth, a good bench. For me, Chambers is underrated player. He's a good player. He can play various positions. He can be a good backup for Tomiyasu. Okay, we are out of the cups. The two competitions.
Mohamed, I totally get where you're coming from, and I think we've had this conversation a few times on the terrace in the last few days.
I have to push him back though.
It only makes sense to. So you think it's good to weaken the squad even if no new signings come in, Igal?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is letting these guys go won't be as big of a miss because we don't play as many games as we usually used to since we're not in Europe, since we're not in the cup competitions, and we do have enough cover for Callum Chambers and Pablo Mari and Kolasinac to go. It's a good thing because we're clearing the decks for new players to come in and to strengthen the squad and get rid of the deadwood in the January window.
But we didn't have any players now.
1 second, where
we are not having. Where is the new players?
Listen. Callum Chambers was going to go anyways at the end of the summer. Kolasinac was going to go anyways.
I'm speaking about. Excuse me. I'm speaking about this period from January to May. We are fighting for the fourth spot. Okay. Last match, Tomiyasu was absent. Who played in the right in place of him?
Right.
Who played?
Igal just dropped out there. Look, I think a lot of people hear the point being raised. We have a super chat here from DH. It says, I just hope we are negotiating for a midfielder before activating Isak's release clause to get the best deal for a midfielder. That's a really good point as well, though. If you pay this 90 million for Isak, any midfielder you're negotiating for, the selling club's going to say, more money, please, because you've got it. That's a very, very good point there by DH. Thank you for making that. Igal's back now. What are you saying, Igal?
I think, what do you call it? When you talk about Kolasinac, Pablo Mari, Cedric, you got to realize, not Cedric, Chambers, you got to realize these guys are such fringe players. They're not, we don't need 5 center backs. We don't need 3 right backs. So if an injury happens, we still have enough cover in the squad. The areas where we need to focus on is the midfield. If you mention Ainsley Maitland-Niles in your speech, I get that, because Ainsley Maitland-Niles could have helped us to a certain degree. But the fact that we didn't play him for majority of the season, there was a handshake agreement between him and Arteta, or the club and Arteta.
We missed a great chance selling Maitland-Niles to Wolves 1 year ago for 22 million pounds.
That's
But the
too late.
situation was
This
different.
board,
That's
The
too
situation
late.
was
We can't constantly go back and look at revisionary history. Right now,
no, just
No, but
look at what this board is planning.
bro, the board is completely different from the board that did that.
no, but Igal, what he's saying, like in terms of with Maitland Niles, obviously we can't keep looking back at things, but at the same time, if his speech, and I hear what Mohammed is saying, he's talking about the way that we are moving, not just in January, but in general under Edu. And it's bad. Edu has been here now for about 1.5 to 2 years. He has not sold Nketiah. He is still rejecting deals with Nketiah. He could have got 25 million from West Ham, but we're still rejecting deals. And he's now going to leave on a free. We're going to get rid of Lacazette on a free. Aubameyang's going to go on a free.
And then on a free.
That's
We've then got the Maitland-Niles situation. Edu is a failure so far at Arsenal. That's the only way of putting it.
No one's disagreeing with that.
I think it's going to be interesting in the next few days to see who does come in. I understand where Igal's coming from, and I've seen that positive approach from quite a lot of Arsenal fans across socials around. They're really happy that the decks are being cleared. The problem is if you do pick up a few injuries, I look at it from a point of view of you're in this great position to push for this top 4. If you were 15 points off top 4 and had no real chance, then it wouldn't matter. But you're there or thereabouts. Someone's got to come in. I can't imagine a world where that doesn't happen. Comment here says, Terry, the mod Sharik laughed at this guy's accent in the chat. I told him not to. Then he... Listen, Don 1... I saw Sharik's comment and he didn't laugh at the guy's accent. He said the guy's accent with like it's on fire. He likes the guy's accent. He didn't laugh, but thank you for the super chat anyway. Sharik's just stop arguing with each other in the live comment section, people. It's getting embarrassing now. Listen to what the viewers are saying and ignore each other if you don't like each other. Jesus Christ. Everyone who's tuned in, it's like dealing with my kids. Everyone who's tuned in today, I really appreciate it. Do me a big favor and smash the like button before you leave. All the contributors of the show, thank you. All the super chatters, all the new subscribers. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless.